Hey guys, welcome back to the Garden Tractor Geek channel. I have some updating to do, and I'm just going to do one big whole collection update because a couple of viewers requested that I do, so that's what we're going to do. I don't even know where to start, honestly, but let's just start with the 582, just because it's the first thing here. Now, we're just going to go over each tractor, what I'm planning to do with it, all that. I don't know how much I really got into the first video when I picked this up. It's got the 3-speed trans, IH, but it's aluminum, so I guess you can call it the CCC trans. Same internals, all that, just an aluminum housing, which it's not really that big a deal for what I'm doing. The aluminums actually aren't that bad. They're just a little lighter, and they are known to bend with doing like ridiculous stuff that I'll probably never be doing. So I might get there's special braces you can get. I doubt I'll get those, but who knows. Has a 16 horsepower Briggs & Stratton opposed twin engine. As far as me on twin engines, you saw that 782 I had a KT17. That was my second KT17. First one I had was okay. Was not a bad motor. It was in a John Deere 317 that I had when I was, well, it was 2011, so it was quite a while ago. And then I had that 782 about a year and a half ago. And it turned me away from the Kohler twin engines in general. I still like the M18s. That's the only Kohler twin, opposed twin that I will ever run. I'm actually very picky when it comes to opposed twin engines. As far as like opposed twins, I'll run the Briggs, the Kohler M18s, which is the Magnum 18s, and then the Onan engines. I really like those. The only reason I don't really run Onans is they're very expensive. I mean, they're the equivalent of, almost the equivalent of owning a diesel Yanmar, Kubota, Cub, or Deere. So they're high value engines, and they're not cheap to fix. I actually bought a spark plug, or went to buy a spark plug wire for one, and the only one that I think it was for a Kohler engine, and the only one that John Deere had was an Onan one. Said made by Cummins, $45 for a stupid spark plug wire. So if that gives you an idea. But like I said, the Onan engines are good. The only thing that I need, it actually might need the carb cleaned, I'm not sure. Sometimes it'll run perfect, and then other times once I get to about half throttle, it'll kind of just die. I drop the throttle and bring it back up and it's fine. So who really knows? The fuel pump was giving me issues, so it could very well be that. I need to clean up some of this wiring. PTO works. It's 1,500 and some hours. That's on the tractor itself and the transmission, which, to be completely honest, the transmission feels very new, which surprises me a little bit. It's the best as far as going into gear and smoothness for a transmission that I've ever owned on a Cub Cadet. So it's really odd to me. There's a little hole in the seat that just keeps. I think the guy before me left this thing outside, which is a shame, but I mean, look at me. I do it to my more, not so sentimental value tractors. But, of course, I have my paps out there, so I can't really say too much. But that's just a project that I've been neglecting to get into, which I know I should, but just really haven't gotten to. So, this is the 582 anyways. A couple things I've gotten on it since I've owned it. Hood ornament, which that was a cluster. Now I'm just gonna grind that down and call it a day. The screws that came with it obviously were not the right screws. I didn't even think about it. I just bolted it up, and well, you can see what happened. I got a grill and I got an IH emblem. Now the IH emblem, I used industrial strength adhesive because I think there's clips that you can put on it, but this adhesive, it's not gonna come off. So, but I got this grill, which is just zip tied in here right now until I get the springs. So that's just a temporary thing, just to have it in there, because it looks like garbage without it. So I'm actually gonna tighten that a little more. Yeah, it's better. That's not gonna move now. But yeah, so that's this. The motor has around, when he got it, it had 550 hours. This was a replacement motor out of another 582 that he turned into a Puller. I actually got this from a good friend of mine that I've known over the years. And so I'm assuming it's around 600 to 650 hour-wise, because he's owned it for 2 years. So here's the 110. The 110 is currently in a little bit of a sad state. Not a horrible state, but a sad state. As you know, I'm gonna apologize for the bad lighting. It's getting dark quick. We just changed our clocks back, so. But anywho, the 110 had an issue with the ignition switch. I replaced the ignition switch. I had to get a special ordered switch from Indac, which took a very long time to get in. Cost me about $40, and it quit running. It wouldn't. Nothing worked, and it's got the same symptoms again. And I've only had this switch for maybe 3. Whoa! What? Okay. You know what? I think I know what was wrong with this. I'm not sure, but actually I don't know what was wrong with this. That's super weird. Okay, so never mind. I just lied. The 110 runs. We'll get into that later. My dad came over and jumped it with his, he got one of those mini jumper packs. He jumped it off the starter, and, well, now the 110 runs. What the heck? Weird stuff going on. I guess I have a curse, and apparently I just needed some of my dad's good luck or something. I have no clue. So this isn't really a garden tractor, but I have to include it. You guys are small engines junkies, and well, got another small engine. I might have posted a video of this. I'm not sure. I can't remember. If I did, sorry, but I still want to include this because this is, a big piece of my collection. Actually, I think I'm planning on keeping this. This was going to be a flip item, but the gentleman I got it from was a very nice older gentleman. He wanted it to go to a good home. He sold it. He had it on the local bargain sheet. We have a bargain sheet in my area, and it's obviously was a lot more popular back in the day before internet was a thing. And I remember as a kid, we bought my Pap's wheel horse off of it. We've bought several things off the bargain sheet. That was the thing. There's a TV show. I can't remember what it's called, but it was up in Maine, and they actually have a bargain sheet kind of like that. Some areas have them, some areas don't. But he had it up there. It's a no-picture type deal. He said, I have a Craftsman snowblower, and, I called him and asked a couple questions. They were kind of vague, but I was hoping it wasn't a 2-stroke one because it is a 22-inch, which is a little bit smaller, but hear me out on this. It's got a 5-horsepower engine. They threw this engine with 24 to 26-inch snowblowers. So I'm thinking a 5-horsepower engine on that small of a intake or whatever, I think this thing is definitely going to blow some snow and not bog down like some of the bigger ones. So, but yeah, this thing runs, starts right up. It's a heck of a snowblower, and I believe I'm going to keep it. Fun little fact. So, as you know, a lot of air-cooled engines have a thing going over the heads. So, tin. This, you can cut. Oh, no, you can't. It's too dark. I apologize. Let me see. I don't know at the 582, that's side panels. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Kinda. So the heads are on the side here, and there's tins going over it, so the air goes over it to cool it. So a little fun fact about these. These are, always supposed to be ran in cold weather climate. So what they were thinking when they built these engines, which this is a Tecumseh engine, they were huge on the snowblowers. That's what kept them in business as long as they were. But their thought was, it's cold, so we don't need to run cooling tins over this, which actually did end up working. These engines are the best snowblower engines. I'm not a Tecumseh fan. If you've watched previous videos, I do not care for them. But they made a killer, and I mean killer, snowblower engine. So that's this. Rear engine rider. I just sold the 100 to my dad. He might be taking this one home because that's what he does. He fixes up mowers and stuff, and either keeps them or sells them. That's up to him. He took my 100. I was desperate for a train set, and he gave me 150 for it, which, hindsight being 2020, I think I'm gonna hook him up with this one too, just because he really helped me out when I needed it. So I'm probably gonna offload it to him if he wants it. He definitely gets first dibs. But we'll see. Who knows? I was planning on getting this to mow around here. But I think I'm going to go for something a little different. Whether it's an LX series, I'm not sure. But I'd like to commercially start mowing in the next year. And I'm not sure this would be the perfect model. I mean, they're not bad machines, but I got a brand new push mower for that. The push mower, and you know, you guys can say what you want. I'm definitely out of storage space, and that's my fault. I have too many machines, and I prioritize some machines. This machine's been getting moved left and right. This is the one with the Kohler swap. Now this is going to go under a tarp. I got a big 20-foot tarp that my mom got to get some carpeting, which we don't need anymore. We actually had borrowed an enclosed trailer. But this is just going to need some wiring, looking over B80 dry belt, which is a shorter belt. And I think she's going to be about ready to fire, so not too much into this one. Once I get this running, I'm not certainly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm looking to get back into PA plow days in the next year or two. It's an 8 horsepower, but it'd do the job. I was thinking of maybe getting a sleeve hitch and a Brindley plow, and if I can get my own setup, I wouldn't mind taking this one and the 582 to plow days. I don't think I'll take the 110. My buddy Michael TJ8060, he took his 210, which didn't do bad, but he did have some belt issues, and the reason being, I think, is just between the variator, the dry belt, there's just a lot more going on there. They're the best belt drives out there as far as I'm concerned, because they have so much versatility as far as your speed. I mean, it's the equivalent of running a hydrostatic, so I can't say anything bad about them, but I feel like this, as far as a belt drive, would do a little bit better. That's a very simple setup. The only thing I'd do is I'd take 2 belts with me, one on the tractor and a spare, and runner. The reason I'm saying I might bring this and the 582, that 582 chugs. And when I mean chugs, I mean I had, well, let me see. I just filled this up, and I probably put 45 minutes to an hour on it. It was a little bit between half and here, and you can see where it's at now. And that's why this isn't used all the time. Very nice tractor. I love this machine. But these Opposed twins, they love their fuel, and they let you know it too. So I got my generator under a tarp. I'm not going to get into that. That needs some carb cleaning. I want to get that done in the next month before winter arrives. I believe that we might have a pretty decent winter this year. And as you know, in central PA, that's an on-or-off thing. You never know. Just from what I'm seeing, I think we might be seeing a good bit of snow this year. I think we might see some big snows, but I think we might see a lot of like 6 to 8 inch snows. And maybe a winter like 2013, 2014, where it was just snow, snow, snow. That's when I had my original 582. It got to the point where we couldn't push snow anymore because the piles were so high. We actually ran out of room to push snow. That year was the year I wish I had a snowblower, which I do now. If it ever gets bad enough that I just can't push anymore, that's kind of the reason for having a snowblower. I thought about getting a snowblower for the 582. It's got plenty of power to do it. But I haven't talked myself into it. As you can see, I live in a mobile home park, and that's just not... I'm not sure that's the best thing, because if it's, you know, flinging snow, I mean, I don't want to hit anything. It's a lot of tight areas, but a snowblower on that would be cool. But who knows? So far, I think I'm just going to keep this, and maybe we'll redo some stuff next year. But that's kind of where we're at. That's getting some super lugs on it. I'm getting weights from my buddy, Michael TJ8060. And I'm going to paint those. They're painted John Deere yellow. They're IH weights. I'm going to paint those red, which I think will really look good. Either red or black. Those are the 2 colors I'm thinking. But I'm probably going to go red. Well, I don't know. You guys, you know what? You guys tell me. Red, black. What do you want? I'll let you guys pick. You know, it's black, red, white. I think red would look cool. I think black would look cool. I don't think I want to go white, though, just because it's what everybody else has. But, what do I know? But, yeah, so super lugs are going to go on. All I need is 2 tubes, and that's it. I got the deck under a cover over there, so that's covered up. But, yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Sorry this was a 15-minute video, but it is what it is. I wanted to get everything in there and really talk your ear off a little bit. If you guys want me to do anything else video-wise, just let me know, and I'll do it. So, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.